Welcome to Soul Stories Moments, where the heart of life unfolds through stories that speak to the soul, moments that make you pause, and experiences that reflect the elegance of everyday living. Today's story isn't just about fabric or fashion. It's about something deeper, something stitched into memories, comfort, resilience, and quiet pride. It's about aprons. Yes, aprons for women over 50. But not just any aprons. Aprons that reflect elegance. Aprons that whisper stories of meals shared, lives touched, and the charm of simply being yourself, no matter what season of life you're in. Let's take a moment to pause. Think of an apron. For some, it brings up images of a grandmother at the stove, humming an old tune, the scent of warm bread in the air. For others, it's their mother, wiping hands on the fabric as she moves between tasks like a graceful orchestra conductor. For women over 50, aprons aren't just accessories. They're symbols. A soft armor of love, labor, and identity. But somewhere along the way, aprons fell out of favor. They were seen as old-fashioned, relics of a time when women were expected to stay in the kitchen. But now, the world is rediscovering them. And women over 50 are reclaiming the apron, not as a symbol of submission, but as a banner of grace, independence, and quiet power. You see, turning 50 doesn't mean fading away. It means stepping into a chapter where comfort and confidence finally hold hands. Where style meets practicality. Where a simple apron can become a statement of who you are, unapologetically. So let's walk through the story of the apron, its rebirth, its elegance, and why it's become a new favorite for women embracing their golden years with charm and dignity. Let's begin with Linda. She's 62. Retired from a long career in corporate HR, she now spends her mornings tending to her herb garden and her afternoons trying out Mediterranean recipes in her sunlit kitchen. Her favorite companion, a linen apron with floral embroidery and deep front pockets. To Linda, the apron is more than protection from olive oil splashes. It's a reminder that she's stepped into a time of her life where she decides what matters. I used to wear pencil skirts and heels every day, she laughs. Now, I wear aprons, and I feel more like myself than I ever did in a boardroom. Then there's Patricia. She turned 58 last fall. A breast cancer survivor, she began sewing during recovery. What started as therapy became a small online shop for handcrafted aprons. Each one, she says, carries a little part of her healing. She doesn't just make aprons, she tells stories with them. Some are vintage inspired, others bold and colorful. One features patchwork from old family tablecloths. Every stitch holds meaning. My aprons helped me rediscover my body, Patricia says. I wear them when I cook, when I paint, when I cry, when I laugh. It's like I've wrapped myself in a hug that says, you made it. Aprons for women over 50 are not about hiding stains. They're about honoring presence. They say, I'm here. I've lived. I matter. But let's not forget the practicality. At this age, many women find joy in activities they once didn't have time for, baking with grandchildren, pottery, gardening, painting. An apron becomes a companion in these quiet rituals. It's the fabric that listens without judgment. It wipes away flour and tears. It holds clippings of time and paintbrushes. It doesn't ask for attention, but somehow, it becomes the most elegant thing in the room. And then there's the fashion of it. Modern aprons aren't shapeless or dull. Today, they come in linen, chambray, cotton blends. There are wrap-style aprons with elegant cuts, Japanese cross-backs that feel like dresses, and half aprons with vintage flair. Some are minimalist, others boldly patterned. Colors range from soft creams and muted sages to deep navy and cherry reds. The details, like lace trims, stitched initials, antique buttons, bring a sense of personal heritage. It's no longer about covering up. It's about expressing who you are, what stage you're in, and what you value. Take Martha, for example. She's 66. A retired schoolteacher, she now hosts weekly tea parties with women from her book club. They wear aprons, intentionally. Each one of us wears something different, she shares. Mine has sunflowers. Diane's is polka-dotted. We've turned it into a celebration of ourselves. We call it our apron hour. There's something beautiful in how women over 50 are transforming the narrative. They're saying, this isn't just a garment. This is part of my ritual. My rhythm. My elegance. And that elegance doesn't have to shout. It's not flashy or loud. It's in the soft swish of fabric as you move across a kitchen floor. It's in the way an apron ties in the back, reminding you that you're caring for others, but also for yourself. For women in this chapter of life, clothing takes on a new meaning. It's less about trends and more about authenticity. It's about comfort, not because you're giving up, but because you've finally decided your comfort matters more than other people's opinions. And aprons, simple, humble aprons, become powerful tools in that journey. Let's talk about heritage. Many women over 50 are reconnecting with their roots. Aprons often carry nostalgia, whether it's a passed down piece from a mother or grandmother, or something that evokes an era where slow living and family dinners were the norm. And in that nostalgia, there is empowerment. There's a deep sense of continuity, of being part of a lineage of strong, loving, hardworking women. Wearing an apron, then, becomes an act of honoring them. In a world racing ahead with speed and noise, women over 50 are choosing the slow, intentional rhythm of chopping vegetables, kneading dough, arranging flowers, all with an apron gently tied around them. And it's not just for the kitchen anymore. Some wear them while journaling by the window. Others, while arranging crafts for their Etsy shops. Some wear them to feed birds in their garden. Because the apron is no longer about preparing a meal for others, it's about preparing a moment for yourself. A moment where elegance meets everyday charm. Now, let's hear from Clara. She's 70 and a retired nurse. She now teaches baking at a community center. She owns 12 aprons, each with its own story. There's a light green one I wear when I teach carrot cake. A denim one for pizza day. A silky floral one for the holidays. My apron is my mood ring, she chuckles. Her students, many of whom are younger, began showing up in aprons too. Inspired by Clara's graceful presence, they started embracing this old new fashion. Because elegance, after all, is ageless. And charm, it's contagious. Let's not forget the symbolism. Aprons tie from the back, like a gentle embrace. They signify nurturing, warmth, and welcome. And for women over 50, many of whom are in a phase of giving back, whether to family, community, or themselves, aprons feel just right. They help turn everyday moments into rituals of beauty. They make ordinary tasks feel sacred. And perhaps most beautifully, they create space for presence. In a world that tells women to chase youth, these women are chasing meaning instead. So whether it's linen or cotton, bright or muted, handmade or store-bought, every apron becomes part of a deeper story. A story of reclaiming time. Of finding purpose in simplicity. Of wrapping yourself in something that honors who you are. So the next time you see a woman over 50 wearing an apron, look closely. She's not just cooking or gardening. She's living, fully, boldly, and beautifully. She's reminding us all that elegance isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And charm. Charm lives in the quiet moments. In the way she stirs soup. In the way she greets you at the door. In the way she wears her apron like a crown, soft, gentle, timeless. Aprons for women over 50 aren't making a comeback. They never really left. They were simply waiting for us to notice their quiet power again. So here's to every woman tying her apron behind her back, rolling up her sleeves, and stepping into her life with grace. You are elegance. You are charm. You are the moment. Thank you for watching Soul Stories Moments. If this touched your heart, share it with someone who sees the beauty in the simple things, someone who knows that sometimes, an apron is more than fabric. It's a love story, worn and cherished. We'll see you again next time, with more stories stitched from the soul.